We came here as slaves, now it's time to flee. Captivity beginning 1619 AD. We didn't have a choice, this was forced migration. Millions of us died before we reached the plantation. Our women violated, we deprived of our language. They wanna keep it silent, so they find a tree to hang us. It's ultimate control with the crack of a whip. And they beat us every chance that they could get. To the skin of our backs, we're bloody and split. When that barbed wire whip hit our flesh, it was ripped. Pregnant mothers thrown overboard, chained up on ships. And we get no reparations, and it don't make no sense. And nobody factors in the psychological damage that we still had to manage at a great disadvantage. They said we 3/5 of a person, and they said that we savage. The slave masters never went to jail and still living lavish. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's a stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after face that's not made up. And Yahuwah coming back, and he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's a stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after face that's not made up. And Yahuwah coming back, and he will never forsake us. Negro land in Africa, the kingdom of Judah. And they knew who we were, and that's why they pursued us. And they brought us on a slave ship, betrayed us like Judas. This whole country built by Hebrews, they just killed us and used us. It's the white man religion, and they made us all Christian. Use our book as a weapon and remove what's been written. How you violate our women and you never go to prison. They packed us on the slave ships, the worst conditions. And it's all about control and colonization. Slavery the biggest holocaust, they ignore that conversation. Throwing money at the small hat, supporting their evil. And they stole our identity, you defending these people. Scriptures say blessed, Yasharel, you will be blessed. But because we all black, we don't get that respect. Chains of iron on our necks, gave our daughters for sex. And they set us all free, but we treat it as less. It don't take a genius just to see that we press. Exposing racism ain't racist, we just grieved in the press. And they had to be possessed to think they freedom or less. Recompense will be brutal and it will leave you distressed. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's a stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after face that's not made up. And Yahuwah coming back, and he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations, that's a stake you must take up. And Yahuwah will love his people, he will never forsake us. It's a war against Jacob, it's the hatred of Jacob. And the nations are against you, and it's time that you wake up. And we hated by the nations after face that's not made up. And Yahuwah coming back, and he will never forsake us.
I thought we all came from like the Ivory Coast. I didn't know where we came from. No, they went to a specific place because you remember the white boy was saying that they were saying that there was a byword on us that said these people are cursed of their God. That's why they did it. So when they would sell us, they would be like, don't worry about it, they cursed. Then what did that mean? Somebody read Deuteronomy. Somebody read Deuteronomy and said these people are supposed to be slaves. And that's why they did that. Because they saw in the book that this is who y'all are. This is what y'all Bible say, and that's what we gonna do to y'all. And then they erased it all, so you never know who you are. Now we just over here, adopting all customs. We think we're Italian, name ourselves Italian. We call ourselves the Mexican name. We don't know who we are. We adopt every culture because we people don't know who we are.
Hey, Yexer.
Yeah. Duda, Rabbi Yahuwah, Barak Yahusha. You may not be able to see it, but there's an awakening taking place. Hallelujah.
Hey, Yexer.
I I know in America they treat you like dirt, and we hate our own selves cause we don't know our worth. They deprived us of our language and our heritage too. One is dead like King Herod, he was killing the Jews for 400 years, oppressing and enslaved. They took us on a slave ship, we thought we were saved, and they treat us like some animals we sold in the trade. And we dying so young, never see old age. We just lost and confused, so we showing our rage. Property of poverty, low jobs, low wage. So many black men lacking motherly love. We've been taught to hate our skin and we're unworthy of love. Don't tell me that my heritage really don't matter. And the Bible said in the nations we would be scattered. If we prayed to Yahuwah, we was beaten and battered. Forced to worship Jesus Christ where the heathens are gathered. Yahuwah loves his children and he waking his people, returning to commandments and forsaking all evil. They told us we were slaves, never told us we're Hebrew. The Bible is black history, your pastor will teach you. Yeah. In 16...
All esteem to Yahuwah. They told us we were slaves, never told us we're Hebrew. The Bible is black history. Your pastor won't teach you. All esteem to Yahuwah, family. Welcome back. I hope you guys are well. Well, I felt like that song, or both of those songs really are very fitting for what we're going to be talking about in this particular stream. I know I did like 2 streams today, so it's crazy. But so what I'm noticing, y'all, is there's a few things that are taking place right now. I'm noticing coming from the Gentiles. I want to give a shout out to our beloved sister, Bathia Yasharal, because she just brought this to my attention that there was a guy that was trying to initiate a race war today, earlier, just literally a few hours ago. Take a look at this, y'all. Thank you, sis, for shouting this. I didn't even know about this. An Arizona man is facing federal charges for planning a mass bang bang on an Atlanta rap concert to incite a race war. Let's go to the article here. Family, I've mentioned this before, but this is the time of the raging heathen. These folks are mad, they're angry, they're realizing who we are, and, you know, obviously they feel a way about it. Let's just go ahead and watch this clip. Let me make sure the sound is on. Give me a second, family. I want to make sure the sound is on before I play this clip. Okay, let's full screen it. All right, let me unmute this. Okay, here we go. Let me start it from the beginning. All right.
A man now faces federal charges accused of selling guns for a mass shooting in metro Atlanta. A grand jury indicted Mark Prieto of Arizona on Tuesday. He's accused of selling rifles for a shooting at a May concert in Atlanta. However, he was talking to people who were part of an FBI operation.
Yes, fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
Investigators say that Prieto wanted to incite a race war before this year's presidential election.
Now, always understand, family. Whoops. Okay. Always understand something, family. Whenever you see the news, they're either doing one of two things. They're either planting seeds or they are programming you or lying to you. It's either one of two things. It's never telling you the truth. This is seed planting, okay? And I'm telling you right now, I've been feeling this I've been feeling this sense of unease when it comes to this election that's coming up. You got to understand that this is perfectly ripe for this kind of scenario to take place. Why is it? Because now black people are starting to gravitate towards Donald Trump. There's already a people that say, oh, stop voting Democrat. But let's be honest with you. If we really coming down to the truth of the matter, they would rather you vote Democrat than even being seen around you. Okay? So this is definitely what they are steering the black community towards. What do I mean by this? What do you mean by this, Yetcher? How are they steering people towards Donald Trump? I'll show you. So let me go to Twitter. I want to just show you guys a few things because I want you to understand what is taking place right now. This Donald Trump thing is going to be perfect for the race. So if you look at these rappers, a lot of them are co-signing Donald Trump, and I'm going to show you a few of them because I want you to see where this is going, okay? So let me show you this one, all right? These are two drill rappers, stepping out and saying that they're going to vote for Donald Trump, make America great again. Okay, these are the tap dancers. Okay, because you got to understand, this is the Ashkenazi that control them, so they do what the Ashkenazi tells them to do.
You are a raccoon.
Okay, so let's hear what they have to say.
Here as well as rapper Chef G. Does everybody know Chef? Where is Chef G?
Fair use, YouTube.
Where is he? Come on up, fellas. Rapper Sleepy Hollow. Come on up here, fellas. How are you, man? Hey. Oh, I like that. I want to get that done.
President Trump. Oh, man. One thing I want to say. One thing I want to say. They always gonna whisper your accomplishments and shout your failures. Trump gonna shout the wins for all of us.
Now, keep in mind, this Edomite has not said a damn thing he's going to do for the Black community, which is so sad because our people, they have such this idea, right, where they need to have someone ruling over them. They need to have some sort of approval by these white men to get into white men's spaces. And honestly, the heathens have done a good job of making me not want to be anywhere around them, especially when it comes to getting into these political spaces. I do not desire to be in the same space as a bunch of white Nazi racist people. Okay, but you see, once again, family, these rappers are all controlled. They're all puppets. They are steering the Black community towards Donald Trump. Okay, because literally a few years ago, when what's her name? Beloved daughter of Zion. I can't remember what her name is. Chrisette Michelle. She went and she performed for Donald Trump back in his 2016 campaign. Everybody canceled her. Everybody called her a tap dancer and all of this. But look how the ties have changed in 2024. Because it goes to show you that they just move you around back and forth. But you can see these big time rappers. I never even heard of these Negroes before. They are steering the Black community towards Donald Trump. And I'm going to show you more evidence of these other rappers that are stepping out in support of him. This is all part of this, y'all. They are all steering you towards it. And then once you decide to vote them in, they're going to flip the switch, and their fans and his supporters, they're going to work against you. They do not want to be in the same space with you. They can't stand you. They hate you. But maybe you just haven't taken time to understand how they think and how they feel. Do you not understand that make America great again means restore America back to the time when you were a slave? And I'm going to take you to Donald Trump's website because I want y'all to see what it says on there. But let's keep watching.
Make America great again.
You see, that's some serious tap dancing right there. Make America great again means make Black men slaves again. Make Black women slaves again. Bring back the subjugation of the Black woman, man, and child. Okay, you know what? He tap dancing.
Hardy, har. If they like that mess, they're starving for some real hoofing. I'll kill them. Music, maestro, please. E flat from the top.
That's what I think of when I think of them. Okay, just straight up tap dancing. And yes, MAGA is the highest degree, not of Freemasonry, but of the Church of Satan. And I'll show you guys that a little bit later. But let's keep watching this. And I'm going to show you some more examples in a minute.
Thank you, fellas. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. That's where I like those teeth. I want to find out where you did. I got to get my teeth like that. I want that to happen to me.
Then the mockery, making fun of him, dude, because he got gold teeth. Okay. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to find some more examples here. All right. These are rappers who have come out and publicly supported Donald Trump. You've got Chief Keef, Sexy Red, Kodak Black. What's this dude's name? I forget. A Little Pump. I have no idea who this is, and I have no idea who this is. Let's see. What the heck? Wow. Okay. So we got these rappers. We just looked at that video, and even Amber Rose. Okay, the self-proclaimed slut. Okay, is now supporting Donald Trump as well. So y'all can see these liberals are being steered toward. Look, May 20th. Look at that. That's a man, cuz that is definitely a man. Amber Rose, y'all. Okay. Amber Rose is now in support of Donald Trump. You want to tell me that these folks are not being steered towards him? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is clearly part of the agenda of the liberals and the Republicans. Why? Because they work together. I'm sorry, but this is low-key funny. I have to read this comment. This dude said, my nigga Trump finna clap some yellow buns tonight. I'm sorry, but that was low-key funny. So you have Amber Rose stepping out in support of Donald Trump, and here's a video of her admitting this.
A lot of people were shocked with your, endorsement of Donald Trump. I mean, you're all about women's rights issues. I mean, what was the reason for the big change?
Is Donald Trump not for women's rights issues?
I mean, I guess a lot of people were asking.
Trying to make America great again. That's for women too, right?
That's true.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use.
I mean,
okay, well, there you go.
I know. Does him getting convicted change the way you view him?
Not at all.
I mean, do you think it'll help his chances getting reelected, or you'll hurt
I think it helps him more.
I think it helps him more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people see the injustice and what happened, and they want to vote for him more than ever.
I know. I wanted to ask you. So it seems like a lot of celebrities are kind of voting for Trump now. I mean, why do you think people are kind of changing their way of
I think we just did our research, and we're just we're not brainwashed anymore by the left. I can say that about myself. All these years I've been brainwashed, and I'm not anymore.
Okay. Well, you still brainwashed, but because you're doing exactly what they tell you to do. Now, Snoop Dogg is another rapper that has come out and spoke of his support of Donald Trump. Let's look at that real quickly here. Let's listen to this.
He come back up again. If y'all no fucking way in the world, y'all can vote for Donald Trump when he come back up again. If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. I'm saying that to y'all early.
Okay, now this is what he said. This is what he said back in 2020. But now he's come out and he says he loves President Trump. Do y'all see what kind of stuff is going on with these tap dancing Negroes? They don't stand for nothing. Okay, they're progressive. They move with the times. I stand on what I say. I stand on what I believe. I stand on the truth. Unless the Most High himself reveals it to me in a different way, it is what it is. But now you see that he said you stupid if you vote for Donald Trump. Fast forward to now, what's he saying?
I don't say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you pushed a black family out of their home.
Now, this was when he was roasting Donald Trump, okay? And I'm showing you these videos because I'm going to lead you up to the point where he supports him now. All right, we'll skip all this. We don't need to see all this. Okay. Let's see. There's actually a video where he came out and he said that he supports Donald Trump. Okay, right here. Look at this. Snoop Dogg says, I have nothing but love and respect for Donald Trump. He is the gangster rapper who broke the mold, now 52. He's friends with Martha Stewart, makes educational cartoons, and has changed his tune on the man running for president. He supports Donald Trump, y'all. I mean, just a few years ago, you know what I'm saying? You called him a racist. He actually had a music video where he had Donald Trump dressed as a clown and he was banging him. Let me show you. Let's see if I can find it. Donald Trump clown. So it's just, this is what I'm saying. It's just so much back and forth. These people don't stand on anything. Where's the video at? Oh, that's gay. Look at this. This is his music video. Okay. Now, look, this was literally when he got elected. He had the bang bang, Donald Trump dressed as a clown, and this is clearly Snoop Dogg. But now all of a sudden you support him. Okay, you don't find that interesting, family. Oh, wow. Very, very interesting, bro. So we'll leave that alone. Okay. I'm just trying to, I'm leading you guys to a greater thing I want to reveal here. Okay. So that's that. Now let me close out the screen and I'm going to bring you guys to something else here I want to show you. So you see how everyone is being moved towards Donald Trump. Now let's go to Donald Trump's website. And I'm going to show you guys what it says. Okay, let's see here. Agenda 47. Let's go there real quick. I think it's important that you guys, I talked about Project 2025, as you guys know, but I want to show you a little bit about Agenda 47. So let me, it goes hand in hand with Project 2025. All right, Agenda 47. All right. So let's watch these videos on Donald Trump's website, because I want you to see that with all of our people that are supporting him, they are only walking headfirst into this. And what's going to lead to is Black people feeling like they got played again. And this is what I'm saying. I don't want us to feel defeated by the white man. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm trying to bring this stuff out. But unfortunately, some of our people are just not going to see it for what it is until it's too damn late, because they want to put their trust in everybody but your Usha. So let's watch this. It says, President Donald Trump declares war on cartels.
Fentanyl, heroin, meth, and other lethal drugs are pouring across our wide open border, stealing hundreds of thousands of beautiful American lives. And it's happening like never before in our history. Children are being left without parents. Families are being ripped apart. Communities are being decimated. Our neighbors and fellow citizens are having their entire worlds destroyed like nobody thought possible. Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate. And just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very strong border.
Bro, he done turned, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it look like he got a little bit more oranger? I just made up a word today. Bro got oranger, bro. More orange. He got ultra orange. Like, I'm going to call him mango face. Because, I mean, if you look... if you look right here, like, look at that, like, he's like two-toned. You know what I'm saying? Two-tone Trump. Like, right here, it's like pink. It's like uncooked chicken. But then right here, it's like burnt mango. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, this is like, it's crazy. Okay, let's keep going because there's still more here I want to show you guys. Okay. So he's going to declare war on the cartels, right? He says he's going to end veteran homelessness, no welfare for illegal aliens. Now, this sounds good on the onset, right? But there are still some things in here I think you need to be able to understand when it comes to our people, okay? Because this is always for the white man before it is for anybody else. Let's see. Okay, so listen to this. Protected students from the radical left and Marxist maniacs infecting educational institutions. So if you're talking about critical race theory or mentioning anything about our people and the dark history of America, that will be completely outlawed. Okay? Talking about they're indoctrinating our youth. Oh, why? Because we're telling the truth about the colonizers? Oh, so you can't talk about colonizers. No, Yexer, don't talk about the colonizers. So let's watch the video on that.
For many years, tuition costs at colleges and universities have been exploding. And I mean absolutely exploding. While academics have been obsessed with indoctrinating America's youth, the time has come to reclaim our once great educational institutions from the radical left, and we will do that. Our secret weapon will be the college accreditation system. It's called accreditation for a reason. The accreditors are supposed to ensure that schools are not ripping off students and taxpayers, but they have failed tradition and Western civilization, protecting free speech, eliminating wasteful administrative positions that drive up costs. These standards will include defending the American tradition and Western civilization.
Okay, so European history, European concepts, European ideals. When he says Westerns, bro, look at his face. Bro, his skin is scaly. Okay, look at that ear. Look. How the heck does your burnt mango face not match the color of your ears? Bro, this is two different colors. Okay? This is like, I mean, homie, this dude ain't human, bro. I mean, and who does he think he's fooling with this hairpiece? Okay? Like, I mean, even that, like, that little bit of scalp you see up there, you know what I'm saying? That's also a different color than what's right here and what's right here. Bro got like 3 different skin colors on one face. How does that work, bro? Like, I mean, this reptilian side is being more and more easier to see. And I've noticed, like, if you look at his eyes, there's like pink around his eyes, but the rest of his face is orange. Like, what in the science fiction is going on with this man's face? Yikes. And he got that turkey neck right there. Gobble, gobble. Yeah. Let me stop.
Protecting free speech, eliminating wasteful administrative positions that drive up costs incredibly, removing all Marxist diversity, equity, and inclusion bureaucrats, offering options for accelerated and low-cost degrees, providing meaningful job placement and career services, and implementing college entrance and exit exams to rights cases under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation.
Okay, all right. We'll keep on going. But I just want you guys to see some of these things that he is proposing. Let's keep going. Let me go back to Agenda 47. Okay, so no critical race theory. He will come for all forms of government assistance. So food stamps, government housing. He's going to come for single mothers. I talked about that a little bit in the Trump documentary, but let's keep going. Let's see. Crush the deep state. Now we know that's not true because he is the deep state. Let's see what else we have here. Trying to look for some specific stuff. Gender insanity, de-escalation, energy independence. He says he's going to stop the globalists when he's literally one of them himself. That's crazy. Y'all remember when he said he was going to drain the swamp and he did not do it? Preventing World War III. That's what he said he's going to do. Return power to the American people. Firing the radical Marxist prosecutors, destroying America. Now, that's usually has to do with black people because they love to call us Marxists. Let's see. Ending the homeless drug addicts. Now, what he means by this is the homelessness period. Okay? Like, he'll give it to veterans, which, you know what I'm saying, is not a bad thing, right? But when he says ending the nightmare of the homeless drug addicts, He's essentially saying there will be no homeless. Okay, so if you are homeless, you will be literally thrown in prison because he's going to create a military state. Okay, it'll be a dictatorship. It'll be like Nazi Germany. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to look for something specifically. Free speech policy initiative, total ban on taxpayer dollars, calls for probe into intelligence community's role in online censorship. We must protect Medicare and Social Security. Under no circumstance should Republicans vote to cut a single penny from Medicare and Social Security. So if you read Project 2025, a lot of what is there is going to eliminate these things. So he's telling you he's not going to eliminate it, but that's how he's going to bait Black people into saying he's here to protect you. Just like they told you taking the ouch was going to protect you, but in actuality, it's working against you. It's the same thing. And let's not forget, this dude is the father of it. I think you should take it. So, you know, let's just be clear about that. All right. So we'll keep on moving. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, let me see. Check this out. These are white supremacists doing drills in Tallahassee, Florida. Okay, they are getting ready for something, family. They are getting ready for something that is to come. They're not just doing this just because they're doing it. Okay, they're preparing for something. All right, and I'm telling you, a race war is coming. Okay. White neo-Nazis have pages and channels called Groom Children for Race War. Nazis preparing for race wars as we speak here on American soil, grooming children how to hate certain groups of people. This is the highest form of terrorism. These people are thugs, but they love to call Black people thugs. But yeah, you got this kind of stuff going on.
This amazing piece, great investigative work about how neo-Nazi groups are training children for a race war, basically, in the United States of America. Mr. Jordan Green, we appreciate you being on the show. It was a very tough read for me, but I know it's necessary for us to know. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Thank you so much.
This amazing piece, great investigative work about how neo-Nazi groups are training children for a race war, basically, in the United States.
Interesting.
Radicalizing younger people, and they are radicalizing younger people, and they are steeped in this toxic internet culture of gore and racism and violence, and then they are encouraging each other to commit crimes and propaganda, vandalism to prove their commitment, and escalating to more violent activity.
Okay, so there is a race war that is going to come. We see the conditioning that's already taken place. All right, listen, I'm gonna be real with you guys. These people are afraid of us. Okay, this is a fact. Take a look at this.
There was a real fear that if you let Blacks get control, everything would change. With some people, there was no idea that there would be any fairness or any democracy or anything decent, well-run city government, county government, whatever. It was like, if this happens, we're lost. And it was just a terrible fear. Politicians, even people who knew better, would have been willing to go further personally or to have the state move forward, were always bound by fear of not getting reelected. And so really, people who knew better just stuck with racism for political reasons, is what I think. But a lot of it, just in average citizens, was just that people didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to help.
These folks are afraid of us, y'all. Take a look at this one. Black woman threatened to be hung in white Georgia town where they still honor the slave trade. Y'all be careful out there. To all our people out there in the South, y'all need to be careful, because as this racial tension rises, it's some of the most dangerous places you can be is in the South, for real.
I got transferred to an area, Barnesville, Georgia, that was like being thrown back into the 50s of people yelling the N-word at us to get off their lawn, telling us they're gonna get their gun. They still, on Wednesdays, everything was closed until 2 p.m. in honor of the slave trade. During that time, everything would be closed so that people could go to the auction blocks.
What?
Yeah. And so they still honored that all the way in 2013. And it was because that town was a slave town where they would do, like, the railroad came through it. And that's until 2 p.m. there would be auctions. I was just full on scared for my life, you know, and I learned very quickly, like, to not go to the houses that had any Confederate flag hanging. It was scary and it was a lot, like, emotionally to deal with.
Now, the reason why these heathens are so angry, y'all, is because a lot of them are waking up to the fact that, number one, they are going extinct. Even they will admit this their own selves. You feel what I'm saying? They're going to go extinct. And number two, they're waking up to who we are. And they fear us. That is something that is a known fact. Now, how many people in this chat? Give me a 1 if you know who she is. Give me a 2 if you don't. Give me a 1 if you know who Jane Elliott is. Jane Elliott. Give me a 1 if you know who Jane Elliott is. Give me a 2 if you don't know who Jane Elliott is. Because I want to talk a little bit about her. Okay, Batya Yasharal knows who she is. Akeem Ya knows who she is. Keeping it real, Abigail, Tanya, 6 foot. 6 foot. What up? Ah, good to see you. NEK, Josette, Phil Layahu doesn't. Kiera doesn't. King Yauda. What up, Aki? Shalom. Josette doesn't. Does know. Okay. So to those who know who she is, give me a 1 if you trust her. Give me a 2 if you don't. For those who know who Jane Elliott is, give me a 1 if you trust her. Give me a 2 if you don't. Okay. All right. So y'all don't trust her. Good. Because I see a lot of black people do. And I'm going to show you why you shouldn't. All right. I'm going to show you this conversation she had where they were talking about how white people will be annihilated at some point. They're not going to be here. And her whole tune changes. Okay. So we're going to watch this video. And even when they asked her about reparations, she started talking about the dang, Native Americans. Well, we need to give it to the Native Americans. Man, the hell with the Native Americans. All right. Our conversation and our reparations has nothing to do with these other nations. They always do that. They always try to lump us in with everybody else. We are not everybody else. All right. But let me show y'all this video real quick of her having a conversation with these 2 Yahudi black men. And her whole tune changes when she starts talking about genetic annihilation of the white man. Okay, let's just look. Now, I ain't saying I'm gonna do nothing to these people. I'm just saying the curses that's coming on them. I'm just saying the judgment Yahuwah is bringing upon the Edomites. It's written what's going to happen to these people. Okay, it's already happening right now, family. All you got to do is look at the Census Bureau. Okay, these people are not able to keep up with the population increase amongst the black community. These people are dying out. Okay, it's the truth. Now, this is why, as I said, why they're so angry. But let's just watch this because I want. Now, she claims to be, sticking up for black people and standing up for black people's rights and so on and so forth. But watch what happens when they mention what's going to happen to her people, and watch how her tune changes. Check it out.
Jane, don't you think that what's going on and what has been going on is not?
Can y'all hear anything? I don't hear anything. Hold on. Let me refresh this. I do not hear anything.
Going on and what has been going on is not
necessarily. Family, I can't hear this. Wait a minute. Let me check my audio settings real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. I literally can't hear anything.
Jane, wouldn't troll
think I can't even hear it. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can find another video. That's like the only video too. I don't know if they like muted the audio or whatever. Socks and Sandals podcast. Let me see.
And then first you have to pay off the Native American.
Family, I think they literally muted this audio. Wow. They muted it because there were certain things that they were saying that YouTube didn't want. Okay. Give me a second, gang. I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to try to find it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay. Jane Elliott. White. Annihilation. I mean, with a title like that, I could understand why they would probably mute it. That is crazy, though. I mean, I'm not surprised that they muted it, but they were just having a dialogue there. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. Well, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Socks and Sandals podcast. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all.
William, and from the listeners, so we'll just get to this.
Yeah, they have
so you guys ready?
The audio. You literally can't hear
I am.
At all.
All right, let's go. What up, everybody? Want to welcome you all back to the Socks and Sandals podcast, where society.
And it continues.
They muted the whole thing. Okay. Give me a second. I'm about to try to see if I can find this podcast somewhere else. I mean, their podcast can't just be on YouTube, right? Maybe on Spotify. Let's see. Socks. That's crazy, dude. Let me just copy this
until after you're dead. We need to make pale-faced people aware of the damage that is being done to them by their own ignorance. And I really love to say that we can solve this problem by talking about.
That's what happens when you start talking about the truth. Start talking about the elimination of these people.
Payments to black
due
people. But if you're going to do it
the
that
judgment
way,
of the Most High, and these kind of things will end up.
Whose land we took. And whose homes we took.
This video is nowhere to be found, y'all, with the audio and all. They took.
No, they got.
Oh, got it. Yada yada. Okay, family. Let me switch over to this. All right. So check it out. Let me switch it over, and I'll play the video for you guys. Here we go.
The Native Americans, whose land we took and whose homes we.
Okay, let me go back.
And then first you have to pay off the Native Americans, whose land we took and whose homes we took and whose people we killed in the millions.
No, they got paid. They got paid. They have land.
Oh, really? Really?
They have land. They have reservations, and they also have economic.
Oh, yeah. And would you like to talk to me about reservations and what a wonderful payment that is? All the black people in this country be willing to take a reservation.
That's what the Nation of Islam was asking for.
Well, is that a smart thing to do? I don't think it was.
It depends on who's driving that car. I've been to a reservation. I've been to a reversation in Montana.
Did you think it was a really comfortable place to be?
The way that they were living, no, I wouldn't live like that.
Oh, okay,
but the whole it can't get any worse for black people. So a black person is not going to say, I don't want to have a chance to create my own civilization and my own society. Everybody wants that chance. I'm not going to judge, but I'm not going to project onto black people in America. Well, this is what happened to the natives. You don't want that, and I'm damn sure not going to say, well, we need to pay the natives. Natives already got paid. They already made their deals. They already signed treaties. They've already done what they did. And if they squander their opportunity, that's on that group. Now it's time for this group to get its opportunity and to get its reparation.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about the Native Americans or the Indigenous Americans, they were given reservations. Family, since we've been here, we've never had anything of our own, ever. And if we did, it was always taken, colonized, and destroyed, as if it never existed, with no accountability. Okay, now when the Native Americans came here, they never lost their heritage. or actually I can't say when they came here, they were already here, right? But the Native Americans that were here never lost their native heritage. They did not. They were able to continue to practice those traditions. They were not brainwashed into serving the white man's deity and all of that. They still believe in their great spirits, plural, more than one. Okay? But let's watch this video, family, because I want you to see what her reaction is when they mention, you know, what's going to happen to these people. Let me see if I can find it. It's a long video, so I got to really look for it.
What black boys and girls go through every day. And somebody will say, and they always do, oh, make pale-faced people aware of the damage that is being done to them by their own ignorance. And I really love to say that we can solve this problem by talking about the past, or that we.
And so I'm not going to judge, or I'm not going to project onto black people in America. Well, if this is what happened to the natives, you don't want that. And I'm damn sure not going to say, well, we need to pay the natives. Natives already got paid. They already made their deals. They already signed treaties. They've already done what they did. And if they squander their opportunity, that's on that group.
Right now, people of color are trying to teach them how to behave, and we to people in this country today. We are in deep doggy doo-doo because of the way we have behaved in the past, and because we put in place somebody who doesn't know enough to. We won't talk about that, but the man is danger, and we have selected a man who is dangerous, and we have members of the Senate who will go along because he can decide whether they get money for their campaigns. They know what they're doing, and they know what he's doing. And this is terrifying to me that we don't have enough people who are willing to stand up and say, no, we're not going to let this happen. November 4th, November 3rd, we could change this. We could prove that we know what's going on, and we will not tolerate this anymore. Elie Wiesel said, you must not tolerate the intolerable. If it's intolerable for my cousins of color, it's intolerable for me. I won't tolerate it. I don't have to tolerate it. And you can argue with me until hell freezes over. I still won't tolerate what we're doing in this country. And I will not sit idly by while people say it's all unconscious bias. Unconscious bias or conscious bias, we need to be taught the truth instead of the lie. And we need to be forced, we need to, instead of teaching the 3 R's of reading, writing, and arithmetic, and only one of those begins with R, we need to teach rights, respect, and responsibility. If we taught rights, respect, and responsibility, we wouldn't have to worry about going on in this country.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I would. Because white folks.
Yeah, that's real.
That is, you got a point there.
I know we up against the clock. William, you got any final questions?
No, I just have a question of fun. How is it to meet Killer Mike?
I'm trying to find that part, bro, where like they asked her about the white annihilation, the white extinction, and she could say all of this stuff about white people and stuff like that, but in actuality, when they brought up that talking point, you could just see her whole countenance changed. So you can't be anti-racist, but not even be willing to accept the judgment of the Most High that's coming on your people because of the evil they've done. I mean, for someone to say that it's wrong to say that or to get upset or angry because somebody brings that up, you know what I'm saying? I think that's foolish. I honestly think that's foolish because why would a people be able to do so much evil and think that a righteous Alua is not going to bring up on them what they did to his people, and not just any people, but his people? And I get they don't understand that and they're not looking at it for what it is. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think, right? Because they done unalived a whole bunch of people, dark-skinned people, some Hamite Africans, some indigenous Americans, and a heck of a lot of Negroes. So it's like we can't really, you know what I'm saying, get into our feelings because now you're realizing that it's really talking about your time. It's your time to reap what you sow. That's what the Bible teaches. You reap what you sow. I don't believe in karma. I believe you reap what you sow. And you know it's true. You know what's going to happen. Okay, let me see. Okay. I'm gonna try to find that place, y'all. Just give me a second. I'm gonna try to get through this video because I want to find it. I want to be able to find it because I want you guys to see this. So give me a second.
Right, people all day, every day, right on television. Television is the same old things. Sing a hymn. No, I want that is.
Hold on, y'all.
Those of us who teach against racism and those who refuse to teach against racism, down there in the middle of that map, like a great big red plum, South America. And in fact, some white folks are scared. They're scared to death right now because they know that in this country, within 30 years, white people will be a numerical minority in the United States of America. That's it. That's the truth. And that's the reason pale faces are getting really scared. We can scare them into making a change because every time I do a speech myself, remember the black composed of people of color and their teachers when they're doing.
It's time for us to say, we're going to take this scrap and we want more. Like when they're trying to defund the police.
Have going in this country needs to end, and it needs to end now, but it will not end until we and philosophy.
To survival, you know, doesn't.
Okay, there we go. I found it. Yada ya uwa. Okay, I found it, y'all. Okay, let's listen to what he says here.
Right,
Jane, don't you think that what's going on and what has been going on is not necessarily ignorance because nobody told me any better? Because you just explained, and also I've seen in the exercises that you do, people just flat out deny their position, or that they've been, or that someone else's discrimination is worse than theirs. But doesn't this all come down to survival? You know, doesn't this really come down to the fear of genetic annihilation? If I allow myself.
Now I want you to look at her face. I want you to look at her face as he's saying this. Now she done spent about 50 minutes sitting here telling him what he would tell these Yahudi men what they want to hear. But I want you to look at her face when they start talking about how a lot of these people are going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Now I want you to look at her face and how her countenance changes when he brings out this fact.
So if I allow everyone that is melanated an equal playing field, a level playing field, then I won't be able to compete with them. I won't be able to stay in control and stay in my privileged, nice position because
look at that. You see that look on her face? Oh, she not liking this. Oh, she not liking it, y'all.
Group wants to give up their privilege. And so isn't this about, you know what, if I keep them here, then I can survive because I know that my numbers are down all over the globe. I know that we're not procreating and reproducing. I know that the sperm count is low in males of European descent all over the globe, and it's been decreasing. Just like Brexit, I know if I continue to let immigrants come in, then melanated people are going to outnumber non-melanated people. They outproduce us. So isn't this more or less about genetic annihilation? Not just because I'm.
Wait.
Look at that. You see that? Where's the pro-black now? Okay, now she's getting offended. Okay, you can sit there and talk about, oh, black people. Oh yeah, the white man needs to get it right. Whoa. But as soon as you start talking about the Bible and what the word of Yahuwah says about Edom, then they're like, wait a minute, Yexer, that's too much. I can't handle this. Do not show me Obadiah. Do not show me Joel. Please don't show it to me. Do y'all see the fragility that comes out when we mention what's going to happen to them? And it's not going to be all of them, but it's going to be a good chunk of them. It will be the majority. Okay? That I will tell you. It will be the majority that's eliminated. It will be a small amount of them that will be spared, okay? But you see how angry, how her countenance changed in just that moment where this Aki, this Yahudi, started speaking the truth about them folks. I mean, look at that face. Look at that disgust. And he's looking like, come on, tell us how you really feel, sis. I got to see that again, bro. I mean, just the facial expression she was making, it was rocking her to her core.
Procreating and reproducing. I know that the sperm count is low in males of European descent all over the globe, and it's been decreasing. Just like Brexit, I know if I continue to let immigrants come in, then melanated people are going to outnumber non-melanated people.
Usually when somebody scratches their ear or scratches their nose or scratches any part of their face, that's usually a sign that someone is very, very nervous. Okay.
So isn't this more or less about genetic annihilation? Not just because I'm.
Wait a minute. Do you even think that the average person walking down the street even knows genetic annihilation?
No, it's subconscious. It's subconscious.
Wait a minute. We can talk about subconscious bias and conscious bias until hell freezes over, but that won't solve the problem. And we can use words of 4 and 5 and 6 syllables.
I mean, it will solve the problem though. Is when Edom is wiped out. The wicked Edomites, the system of Edom is wiped out. Then the righteous rule begins. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the world that follow it. People don't understand, as long as Esau is walking around unchecked, propagating all type of evil, they will not fix the problem. There will still be oppression, there will still be poverty, there will still be injustice, there will still be trafficking, there will still be rituals, satanic rituals, as long as Edom is in power. This world is not going to literally be better until Edom is destroyed. Period. Until Esau is destroyed completely, the wicked will continue to live amongst us. You will see more perversion, more LGBTQ, okay, more children coming up missing, more corruption, more wicked businessmen, and more evil being sown into this world as long as Edom is still in power. There will be a small number of the Edomites that will not be destroyed. And it'll be enough for them to be able to serve us as needed be. Okay? But out of the little of them that's left, the rest of them will no longer be here. That's why I just tell the Gentiles they need to get their hearts right, man, and accept the truth, and you ain't got to be amongst those that are destroyed, but many of them are not humble enough to accept that. Zabida, hey sis, how are you? Good to see you. This has changed my whole perspective of her. I just know the videos I've seen, she was speaking truth, yet she is in denial. Right, sis, and that's why I wanted to show this to you, because she does say a lot of things that sound good to the black man or to the black woman or to the black child. But unfortunately, this video exposed that deep in her heart, she doesn't want to consider the real truth. She'd rather say, well, we're going to be a minority. Nah, you ain't going to be a minority. A lot of y'all ain't going to exist no more. That's what she don't want to talk about. For real.
And that solved the problem. You're going to have to talk in the language that the average human being in the United States understands.
Wait a minute. Talk in the language. So now she's insulting them. Oh my gosh. Oh, Father, help us. Now she's insulting them. Okay, now you done got her mad. You want to know how Edomite really feels about you? Get them angry. Okay, and then that Edomite Esau spirit will come out real quick. Okay, then that scaly skin is gonna shed away. And Edom is real going to come out. Now she's insulting them, saying, well, you got to speak in a language that, everybody can. Genetic annihilation? How is that not something that people don't understand? How is that something that people don't grasp what it means? Now she's trying to gaslight them. Oh, boy. My, oh, my. Whew.
And here it is. You either change your behaviors today or you're going to suffer greatly tomorrow. Now, if you want your children to survive in the future, you better change your ideas about miscegenation, because the hole in the ozone layer is getting larger and larger. And as the hole in the ozone layer gets larger and larger, more and more sunlight enters our environment, and more pale faces are going to suffer from melanoma, which is a skin cancer which can spread throughout your body, which happens because you don't have any protection from the dangerous rays of the sun. Now, you can tell that to people, and 1 and 2 and 4 syllables, and they can understand that, and then they can say, oh my God, maybe I better be nicer to these people who are going to be running this show.
I mean, but I'm just saying, okay, we'll stop here. What she's saying is nonsensical, because being white is not really gonna, being nicer to black people is not really gonna save you unless you actually truly cleave to Jacob, and you will be spared. Okay? But being nice to so-called black people, but not actually doing it because you truly want to, and changing your heart, is not really gonna actually help you, because the Most High isn't stupid. He knows the heart of every man. He knows the heart of every Edomite who claims to love Jacob and want to be grafted in, and he also knows the heart of the Edomites who are uncircumcised in the heart, who do not love his people and think that they can cleave to us just for survival. Yahuwah ain't stupid, y'all. He ain't. And these Gentiles think that they can do that and say, oh, well, I think that we'll be okay. And I think if we just act nice to them, we'll be all right. No, homie, Yahuwah ain't stupid. It's getting hotter and hotter out here. Okay? Let's watch this. It says, when people outside of America complain about black Americans complaining about racism all the time, they aren't aware that some of us have to deal with this on a daily basis. And this is a white man they're talking to. Imagine how much worse it would be if he was black. So this is a white man holding up a Black Lives Matter sign. And look what the white people say. So they even hate white people for standing up for black people. Let's just pay attention to see for ourselves.
About 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be gone.
Okay, come back. Harrison, Arkansas is the most racist town in the United States.
This guy visits the most racist town in America, holding a Black Lives Matter sign.
Have a little pride for your race, brother. White pride for your race.
Have a little pride for your race, brother. White pride. White pride. We talking about that white pride. You have a little pride in your race, brother. You mix it with them folk. You ain't mixing with them. You ain't trying to mix with them. We don't mix with them. We don't like them. We don't deal with them. This white pride over here. You talking about Black Lives, man. Anybody worry about no Black Lives? We gotta have pride, brother.
I wouldn't say after dark. Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel. You could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come out here, look out the window and tell me, says, you better go tell that nigga to get out of here and shit. About 10 minutes, I'm going to be back. You better be fucking gone.
They all talk to say, about 10 minutes, I'm going to be back over here. You better be gone. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay, come back.
We matter too. You're a white man. Crazy.
You're a dumbass. You dumb shit.
Are you a Marxist?
Communist. Domestic terrorist. Why don't you take it to Chicago or New York and hold it up for the shit?
Explain to me why I couldn't find that.
Oh, man. These people, there has to be a judgment. I mean, family, these are different people from different walks of life. Sound like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. You know what I'm talking about, man? I don't know, man. You're not go there, talking about and come around over there around that time, man. The dark side of the moon, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing the impression. It just be funny. You know what I'm saying? But all these people, family, is like, she's like, you're so silly. I'm on my bus road. So the hate, family, is so strong. Like, these people are all different walks of life, but they're all united in the hatred. You know what I'm saying? And that's why there has to be a judgment upon America. Yexer, you a mess. You sound just like him. Yeah, I used to be an actor back in the day, so I'm really good with like impersonations and stuff like that. But yeah, let's keep watching, y'all.
Job. I'm Jesus. Trash out of town. That shit don't make shit here. Hey, all lives matter, not just black. You're a Caucasian.
Yeah, you're white.
You look like a white guy holding a Black Lives Matter. Not just saying you're a white boy carrying that stick inside. You're white, aren't you? Oh, boy. How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Thank you. Say something, dude. Yes, sir. because I'm tired of seeing this right here is the biggest hoax there ever was.
It's just the next thing to ISIS.
Yes. Yeah, Black Lives.
Next to ISIS. But what about the KKK? This is what I'm saying. They always talk about we a terror. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization and so on and so forth. But what I'm trying to understand is, how do you feel about the Triple K, which, by the way, was a Freemason organization? I could say that Black Lives Matter was obviously co-opted by a bunch of white liberal leftists, right? But the KKK was actually connected to the Freemason Society. COINTELPRO, 100%. They always talk about Black Lives Matter was a terrorist organization. But what about the Triple K? What about the Confederacy? Y'all still walking around with Confederate flags. Imagine if we said, why you got that song? Why you got that flag waving around you?
Do matter, but what about
Y'all, I mean, okay, listen. See, this is what irritates me, family. What irritates me about when they say, well, Black Lives Matter, but white lives matter or all lives matter, that just waters down the message and sentiment of Black Lives Mattering. What does it water it down? It waters it down because it takes the attention off the message and purpose of our lives mattering. Why? Because we're being unalived, shot dead in the street, being thrown into prison industrial complexes, and there's a whole agenda to hunt down Black men. Every single day. Every single day. Hasn't changed, right? Whenever you say all lives matter, you are saying, screw what the Black man goes through. My plight is more worse or greater than yours. Therefore, it doesn't matter what the Black man goes through. It doesn't matter what the Black woman goes through. My plight as a white man is worse than the Black man's. Everybody else's plight is the same as the Black man's plight, the Black woman's plight, the Black person's plight. So all it does essentially is downplay exactly what we are saying and makes it about somebody else, just to take away the power of that sentiment, to take away the power of that statement. It's very, 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 very dangerous to just do that. How many of you guys remember this? Let me show this to you real quick. We'll get back to this video in just a second. I just want to remind you guys of something that took place not too long ago. A lot of our people were irritated about this. Y'all remember Candace Owens and Kanye West? You remember the White Lives Matter shirt that he was wearing and she was wearing? And she knew what she was doing because she had him wear this to stir up controversy enough to get her name in the trending section so she could drop this movie about Black Lives Matter. So she knew damn well what she was doing. And she will continue to pander to her white conservative, white supremacist fan base. And this White Lives Matter thing is insane to me. Because as far as I'm concerned, white people get away with so much stuff. I mean, you never hear about really massacres when it comes to these people. You know, I mean, even when you think about the center, it starts with a P, and the second word starts with a P. Okay, planned. You know what? Okay, do you ever see those in white neighborhoods, predominantly white neighborhoods? No, you do not. You only see them in the hood. So we're saying that Black Lives Matter, not so much the organization itself, but the sentiment. I agree with the sentiment because I've seen too much death amongst the Black community at the hands of the police, as well as the trafficking and these centers, and so many more ways that they come after us. The medical establishment. I mean, there's so many ways they come at our people. So I agree with the sentiment, not the organization. But this right here is what they wanted that white man to have in his hand. But because it said Black Lives Matter and he is a white man, they had a problem with it. My, oh my. All right, let's get back to this.
Apparently, black people's lives matter more than us.
Apparently.
So the Irish have.
F-U-C-K, Black Lives. This is exactly why we put the sign up in the first place, because these people clearly think it doesn't matter, which is why they commit so many crimes against the black man, black woman, black child, which is why we feel the need to let the world know our lives do matter. You may not think it does, but Yahuwah, he knows our lives matter. He think our lives matter. To the world, it doesn't matter the black person's lives, but guess what? To our Father, it does. To the Mashiach, it does. To the nation that he had separated unto himself, it does matter. It does. So I'm fine if the world doesn't think that my life matters, but my Father does think it matters. This is the hatred of Jacob, y'all.
Walmart, they put out this statement.
I would ask you to leave. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what they would ask me to do.
Ignore the haters. You're being peaceful. What you're doing is good. Just a friendly reminder. Don't give up hope. Okay, so somebody actually wrote on this message. That's actually very nice. And being the fact it came from a white person, I have a lot of respect for them for that. All right, let's keep on going. White people complaining about the lack of opportunity and resources. See, now things are switching. Yes, exactly. Melanated by Yahuwah. Abari lives matter. Facts. I got to make a shirt with that, bro. I'm going to add that to my website. Abari lives matter. Most people don't know what Abari is, but for us who know the language, we know Abari is what it is. It shouldn't be Hebrew, but should be Abari. Abari lives matter. I had made like a Hebrew lives matter shirt a long time ago before I kind of understood the language, but Abari lives matter. I'm going to definitely make a shirt, hoodie, all of that. All states y'all. All right. So let me show you guys this.
Adult white males between the ages of, say, 18 and 25 to...
The economy sucks. You're probably never going to buy a house. Your degree is useless and left you in mountains of debt. You're nowhere near capable of providing for a wife and kids, and you can't imagine yourself settling down with any of the women in your age bracket anyway, because Disney princess programming and feminism has left them fundamentally unwifeable. You've grown up in a culture which has celebrated every other form of identity besides you, and in exact proportion to how much they're not you, to the point that now schools and companies can hire based on that metric, all the while being told you can't complain or notice any of it because of how privileged you are. And if you don't know how privileged you are, it's because of your privilege. Even though you're basically a debt slave with minimal hope of a financial and familial future because your economy and culture has abandoned you. So a lot of dudes just checked out and started like smoking weed and playing video games. Some of the other ones went to countries where they like white people and men, like Thailand, I guess. And some of them were like, you know what, this is a good challenge. None of it makes sense. It's all going to shit. But fuck it, I want a big house. And if you come on my land, I'm going to shoot you with guns. I want a bunch of kids and a wife churning butter. I'm going to make it happen, you fucks.
Okay, sorry for the language, y'all. Let's keep going. But the Gentiles are starting to get angry because they're realizing this is all over for them. Okay, everything that they've had, the white privilege, it's all coming to an end. All right, let's watch this. $800 billion in reparations to black people. California Task Force OK's reparation plan that could cost state $800 billion. Okay, this is what I believe the real reparations is going to come in, because they're going to realize that their privilege is over and they are going to start coming for us. I believe this is really going to set off the Civil War. Okay, let's watch this.
California is going to give $800 billion in reparations money to the black community in California. And boy, people are mad about this. I'll let you guess which ones. Rich people. Now, rich people are suggesting that enslaved black people never made the country that much money. One statistic said that just in 1860, it made the country $4 billion, just that 1 year alone. But unfortunately, it's only going to cut a minimum of $360,000 in checks. That's it. Hey, how much does 40 acres and a mule cost today? Well, if we give it to all black people, $6.4 trillion. And they're arguing about $360,000. They're still getting taken advantage of. $6.4 trillion or $800 billion. That is 1/8 the cost that they were guaranteed at the end of the Civil War. And you know what else? It's taxed. The money that's going to be going to black people is taxed. So it's not truly $360,000. They're only going to get $213,000 of that. That's it. But people are complaining because these aren't the black people that built America. No, but it was their families and their ancestors. And people are saying, well, my Irish family or my Swedish family or my German family built this. Where's my reparations? But the major problem with that is they weren't slaves, forced to do these things.
And that's another thing that they like to propose. They like to say, well, I'm Irish and we were enslaved. You guys were indentured servants. They chose to do it because of debt. Okay, they were not forced against their will, kidnapped, and shipped all across the dang world to work for the white man. They chose to do it. All right. Here's another thing right here. It says a teacher was fired because they held a mock slave auction. Check this out, y'all. The heathens are raging, y'all. I'm telling you.
Teacher in Southborough is now on leave, accused of holding a mock slave auction and using a racial slur during class.
Now, the superintendent says we're talking about two different incidents here. The first was back in January. Parents told the superintendent the teacher was doing a lesson on the economy of Southern colonies and held a mock slave auction, including 2 black students in that exercise, and that the auction included discussion about the students' physical attributes, including teeth and their strength. In April, parents say the same teacher was reading a book aloud and used the N-word, even though that word does not appear in the book. The superintendent says the teacher is on administrative leave. The principal was also briefly on leave, but that has ended, and an investigation is now underway.
Teacher in Southborough is now on leave, accused of holding a mock slave auction and using a racial slur during class.
Now,
okay, so a mock slave auction. I kid you not, family. You cannot make this stuff up. Okay. Now, what I love to see is people speaking out against these colonizers. Now, this took place at the Lizard Queen, Queen Elizabeth, the reptilian herself. You know what I'm saying? An African man spoke out against the colonizer. Let's take a look.
The service came to a halt.
Now, notice the black and white tile floor. I done told y'all these people are the serpent seed. Y'all should not be shocked to see this. You feel what I'm saying? But let's watch it.
The congregation watched as, still standing a few yards from the Queen, the protester, Toyin Agbeto, demanded that Britain issue a formal apology for its part in the slave trade.
The word sorry is so hard to say, and you're the Queen. Can you let me go for a punch round? You're a disgrace.
Mr. Agbeto shouted directly at the Prime Minister sitting in the choir stalls before he finally withdrew.
You see all that black and white? Masonic, okay? Completely Masonic. All right, I would not want to be in there. I know it probably stank. But anyway, all right. Now, this next thing I want to show you guys is a video. It's been making its rounds on social media. I believe it happened in 2020. Take a look at this. Let me share the screen. All right, family. Take a look at this video. This video, I think, is very, very telling, where it's a bunch of white people apologizing to so-called African Americans. Take a look.
I'm going to ask the white Americans in the room to please repeat after me. On behalf of myself and on behalf of my country, to you and all African Americans, from the beginning of our nation's history, in honor of your ancestors and on behalf of your children, please hear this from my heart. I apologize. Please forgive us. With this prayer, I acknowledge the depth of the evils that have been perpetrated against Black people in America. From slavery to lynchings, to white supremacist laws, to the denial of voting rights, to all the ways, both large and small, all of them evil, all of them wrong, for all the oppression and all of the injustices. I apologize. Please forgive us.
Now, I don't have a problem with this, but the thing is, I need to see action. Okay, I don't want vain words, because if there's anything that these people are known for, it is essentially empty words with no action behind it. We need more than words. Exactly. Cut the damn check. I don't want to hear about your damn apologies. All right. Unapologetic Real says, is that Marianne Wilson leading that claptrap recital? She was also talking crazy about reparations. That's what I'm saying. These people are not sorry, bro, because it's like, you know, they speak peaceably, right? We talked about in the book of Maccabees how they spoke peaceably to Yasharal, and then they overtook the temple. If there's anything these people are extremely good at, is acting like they are on our side while also working against us. I don't want no damn apology. First of all, you need to be repentant to Yahuwah first and foremost. But you need to cut the check and stop the vain repetition of these half-assed apologies. I don't want that. That ain't good enough. All I hear is blah, 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 blah. Talk is cheap. Cut the check, boy. Cut the check. I don't care about the crying. I don't care about all the stuff y'all doing. Now take a look at this. Here's another video of these Caucasians bowing down to Black people and saying sorry. Once again, I just think this is unnecessary. But I mean, I guess this is better than cutting the check to them because they don't want to cut the check, but that's what you should be doing. If you really want to make things right, give up that slave house. That house that you were able to purchase because of slavery, give it up. That car you drive, all the wealth you've accumulated, passed down from generation to generation to generation from the slave trade, give it up. I'm just saying. You want to make it right? Give it all up. They're not going to do that, though.
We know he's good, God, and he no longer can be here. In honor of his legacy, we're not rioting, God. We're not shaming anybody, God. We're just humbling ourselves before you. Yes, Lord. You brought the thunder and rain today, God. Because Satan takes the L today. Father, in Jesus' name, you get the victory.
And then you praying in the name of the deity that you oppressed us with? Homie, I don't want your cheese and rice. I don't want your Edomite Messiah. The king of Edom? You praying for me in the name of the king of Edom? Are you serious? I don't want your pagan pig, Jesus Christ. If anything, you should be praying to Yahusha, the Hebrew Messiah, and asking him to forgive you, asking him to spare you. But what is this supposed to do? What does this do for any of our people? What does this do for the nation in general? This is not enough, dude. It's not. It really isn't, bro. That's why there has to be servitude in the kingdom if you make it there. It's restitution. All right? If you're even allowed to make it there, it's obviously up to Yahuwah, Yahusha. The Gentiles can make it to the kingdom, but your restitution is to serve us forever. Restitution must be paid. But the Gentiles are so full of crap. They're like, well, I'm not responsible for what my ancestors did. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. We were responsible for our ancestors. What makes you think you're not? This right here does nothing for Black people. Okay? It doesn't do anything. And the fact that they're listening to this is just crazy to me. I'd be like, man, get up off your knees. You look ridiculous. Cut the check.
Father, We ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic racism. We know he's being God and he no longer can.
Yes. Hold on. Let me go and read this comment. Abigail says, it says in the book of Numbers, if you make an offense to pay someone, pay them with interest. It says that, but it also says to the third and fourth generation, they have to answer for their fathers. It says that in the scriptures. Let me go to that scripture real quick because I want to prove that. Visiting the iniquity upon their fathers to the third and fourth generation. We're going to go there real quick. I want to pull that up. Exodus 34, verse 7. Let's go there. Shamuth 34, verse 7. Let's go there real quick. I'm going to go to Magala, and let's look at Shamuth 34, verse 7. Let's read what it says. It says, let me scroll in a little bit more. Okay. Watching over kindness for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression is sin, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the third and to the fourth generation. Okay? So, yes, you must answer for your ancestors, okay? There's not really any way to run away from that. There's not really any way to, avoid that. It is what it is, okay? Only thing you can really do is just not be like your ancestors, but it doesn't mean you're still not going to pay restitution. It doesn't mean that they're still not, you having to answer for what they've done. We had to answer for ours, homie, and it hasn't been easy. Just be happy that at least if you got to be serving us in the kingdom, we're not going to do you like your people did us because we ain't like y'all. I keep on saying that. I actually got a song called We Ain't Like Them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to drop that probably very, very soon. But that should be the least of your worries because at least you won't have to go through the dehumanizing treatment that we did, right? So, I mean, that's just something to consider, okay? All right, let's keep going. All right, we watched that. Okay. I'm going to read some of y'all comments and we'll keep it going because I have some others. Actually, let me show you this. Check this out, y'all. I mean, I don't know if they're actually serious about this, but look at this. Okay. So sorry. I mean, I'm really trying to figure out what under the dome is going on with these people. Now, if you think that what you're going to go through is going to be similar to this, I mean, if you sold to the Sabians, it's going to be worse than this. 10 times worse than this. Okay? But this right here, I don't even know. I don't know if they're making a joke. I don't know if they're making a statement. I don't know if it's mockery, as unapologetically real as said. I don't know what to make of this. Okay? But this, I mean, this is just foolishness. This is real foolishness right here. Y'all, it could be mockery. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just odd nonetheless. Okay? Now, this next thing I'm going to show you guys is for centuries, the Dutch state and its representatives have enabled, encouraged, and benefited from slavery. For this, I apologize on behalf of the Dutch government. Today, I apologize. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte formally apologized for Netherlands' role in slavery. So we see the heathens are coming out and apologizing. But that still doesn't absolve you of what's written. I'm just trying to make that clear. Let's pay attention to this.
Eeuwenlang hebben de Nederlandse staat en zijn vertegenwoordigers slavernij mogelijk gemaakt, gestimuleerd, in stand gehouden en ervan geprofiteerd. Eeuwenlang zijn in naam van de Nederlandse staat mensen tot handelswaar gemaakt, uitgebuit en mishandeld. Eeuwenlang is onder Nederlands staatsgezag de menselijke waardigheid met voeten getreden op de meest afschuwelijke manier. En te weinig hebben opeenvolgende Nederlandse regeringen na 1863 gezien en erkend dat het slavernijverleden een negatieve doorwerking had en heeft. Daarvoor bied ik namens de Nederlandse regering excuses aan. Today, I apologize. Eeuwenlang
Okay.
hebben de Nederlandse staat en zijn...
So my question is, what are these people experiencing by the hands of our Father that's making them apologize for what they've done? Take a look at this article, family. Pope apologizes to Africans for slavery. This was written in August 14th, 1985. It's an old article. Okay, and it says, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen here. Okay, there we go. So Pope apologized to Africans for slavery. And this article reads, Pope John Paul II today apologized to Black Africa for the involvement of white Christians in the slave trade. The Pope's remarks came into address to Cameroon intellectuals on their tasks in society and on the importance of integrating the Christian message with African culture. John Paul said the task of Christians involved healing and compassion because the man who is in need is on the side of the road as their brother and their neighbor. He continued in the course of history, men belonging to a Christian nation did not always do this. And we ask pardon from our African brothers who suffered so much because of the trade in blacks. The Pope asked his audience not to think of these failures in validating the Christian message itself. The gospel, he said, remains a call without equivocation. Central African Republican stopped. John Paul's statements came at the halfway point of his 12-day journey through Africa, which ended in Morocco on Monday. The Pope scheduled next calls for a stop Wednesday in the Central African Republic before he flies to Zaire Wednesday night. Early today, the Pope, in an exuberant mood, flew to Douta, or Dalala, the main port and financial center, for a mass and address of young people. So this was even going on way back then. So you have to ask yourself, what are these Gentiles experiencing that is making them decide to apologize? Because, listen, like I said, I do not believe that apology really does us any good, especially if it's just a vain apology. Whether it's for clicks, whether it's for views, whatever it might be, I don't really care about you making apologies and stuff like that. That does nothing. I just find that to be kind of strange. And then the fact that there are also white people that were literally doing performance arts. Watch this. Let me show this to you real quick. I'm gonna actually show you guys the video so you can be judged if it's performance art or what.
Welcome to the Pride News Network. For those of you that are just turning in for the first time, essentially we're going to be talking about what essentially they've done marches in England, France, Spain, Portugal, USA, and the Caribbean islands. It's some island in the Caribbean. I forgot which one. Basically what it is, it's a white apologist group. Like, white people are apologizing essentially to slaves, African slave descendants, and they were being shackled up and they were being marched down. I don't know if it's streets or whatever, but they're kind of marching. They have chains around their neck and they're in shackles and whatnot.
Okay, but I mean, when you look at this, why is there a black woman here? I don't know if she's supposed to be like the head chief, or the person behind this idea. But when you look at them, you don't see the distress that our ancestors had on their faces. They're just doing this for clicks and views. This is not, listen, when they truly go into the hands of the Sabians, because like I said, we will not be dealing with them the way they dealt with us. When they go into the hands of the Sabians, there will not be this look of, oh, I'm posing for the camera. They're going to be frightened out of their minds when they go into the hands of the Sabians. Let them practice. I don't care. Right? Because the Sabians, the biblical Sabians, let me show you who they are. They are the Dinka people of South Sudan. I'm going to show you guys, for those of you guys who don't know who they are, the Dinka people, these folks. They some tall Hamites, okay? These are the Dinka people. These are the biblical Sabians, okay? Now, the Bible describes the Sabians as a very tall, statuesque people. This is them. This is who these Gentiles are going to be sold to. Okay, those who don't make it into the kingdom, those who are going into the unrelenting slavery, they got to deal with these folk. Okay, and they don't look very nice. You feel what I'm saying? These are the Dinka people. All right, and I think that people need to kind of get into the understanding this is not a game. What's written, what is said in the scriptures, you see, the Bible's already written, family. The Bible's already written what's going to happen to these nations. And you have the Gentiles have a choice, bro. They have a choice. Either go under servitude to us, or you go to the servitude of the Sabians. And I'm going to tell you, what they're doing to you is going to be way worse than what your people did to us. Just keep that in mind. 89 watching and only 49 likes. Yes, family, please hit the like button if you are enjoying this live stream. They're getting scared. I see it in their eyes. I also see a lot of shame. That shame will eat you alive, sis. It definitely will. And I agree with you. I think that's what's happening right now. I think their guilt and their shame is consuming them. You know, it's like, and I think also Yahuwah, he is stirring up something in them to where they're just like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. I can't take this. I have a problem with what I've done. The Most High is working. Okay. All right. We're going to keep on going here. I want to show you guys something else. Give me a second. Let's see. Where is it? But what I have noticed that I want to say is I'm noticing more. There's less accountability in America, even Africa themselves. Some of the African Hamites that sold us to the Europeans, even they've come out and apologized. Let me see if I can find that video. Give me a second. Because they had a hand in the slave trade as well. Let me pull that up. They love to say blacks sold blacks into slavery, but delegates from African countries apologize for role in slave trade. Let's watch that real quick.
Letters from tribal leaders.
Well, they say they're sorry for enslaving and trading fellow Africans to nations around the world. KSHB 41 News reporter Leslie Dellisboard was.
You got to understand the Hamites had a hand too. It's not just the Edomites, the Ishmaelites, but also the Hamites, the Africans, the sons of Ham. Okay, we are the sons of Shem. The sons of Ham are not the same as the sons of Shem as we know, according to the scriptures. These white folks, they think that all Africans are the same. You know what I'm saying? All black people are the same. We are not the same. These Hamites sold us to the Europeans. The Europeans did not want the Hamites. They wanted the children of Yahudah. Okay? So let's just be clear about that.
Was there and shares their message of healing.
Reaching across oceans. In song and with letters.
It is very deep and painful to even talk about it sometimes.
Remembering the dark past and the role some African chiefs played in the slave trade.
The apology of the awareness that there is a broad culture that contributed to this travesty of enslavement.
This apology is directed specifically to people of, not people of color, Black people, African people, people who have been dispersed in all parts of the world.
Delegates from African countries extending a sincere apology for the actions of their ancestors.
Now, keep in mind, the Hamites will also be serving Yahshua. Yes, exactly. Beloved sister, you hit the nail on the head. All these nations owe us, period. They all got to pay restitution. Okay, I'm talking about the melanated nations that had a hand in our oppression. I'm talking about the pale-faced ones. I'm talking about every single nation owes Yahshua. And Yahuwah, our Father, will make it so. But a lot of these Hamites feel regret because that same conviction is coming up on them as well. And don't even get me started on what these Hamites are doing to some of our people that are going back to the continent. Obviously, you know, you need to wait on Yahuwah, right? Obviously. But there are a lot of Hamites doing things to so-called African Americans, you know, every day when they come to the continent looking for, you know, some place to settle down on behalf of the Most High. But they are also feeling a sense of regret when it comes to the truth and when it comes to what they're feeling in their hearts because of their hand in this.
Some African chiefs in violation of their sworn duty to protect the interest of the people as well as those yet unborn, and will kidnap, sell, trade, and otherwise negotiate for.
Hold on, let me respond to this comment. Unapologetically Real says, I personally think it's self-preservation on their behalf. They're trying to minimize their judgment. If they're ashamed, it's clearly not hitting them hard enough to pay. You know what? I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. I do believe, in a sense, it's a way to kind of minimize what Yahuwah will do, what he said he's going to do, which is why I say, as a Yahudi, it's so important to bring out the truth of what the scriptures actually say. But the thing is, Yahuwah is not a fool. He knows if it's sincere. But even if you repent, it doesn't change. There's still restitution. It doesn't, that's not, see, the problem with these Gentiles is, in their mind, it's, if I say sorry, let's just forget all about it. Okay? Let's just sweep it under the rug and let's act like it didn't happen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know, it's just like when I was a child and I used to do things my mom didn't like. And then, you know, she would tell me, okay, you know, I'm going to get you when you get home. Like, but mom, you know, I'm sorry. It's like, I could say sorry all I want. She going to tear me up when I get home. There's no way to run away from that because there's a lesson to be learned in that. You feel what I'm saying? So if they think that saying sorry just wipes it all away and Yahuwah forgets, it doesn't work that way. This stuff is written. Every thought, every idle word, the Malachim have it inscribed in stone. Yahuwah knows. He knows who is sincere and he knows who is not. But there is restitution that will be paid one way or another. There's no running away from that. There's no trying to avoid that and sweep it under the rug and say, forget about it. It happened years ago. Yahuwah doesn't forget a darn thing. Jesse of Yehuda says, Thomas Jefferson once quoted, indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that the Most High is just and his judgment cannot sleep forever. Right. The thing is, our Father, he has an appointed time. Because it hasn't happened to them yet, they're starting to now feel what's coming, especially the Edomites. They're starting to feel it now, okay? But the problem is, the reason why they feel more convicted is because they've gotten away with it so long. And that's because Yahuwah wanted it that way, right? So when their sins stack up to high heaven, once that judgment comes, there is no mercy. There is no relenting when it comes to the Most High. Markion says America was supposedly free in 1776, yet we're celebrating that till this day. Our people weren't free until 1865, yet they act like it was so long ago they can't pay. Wicked. And that's the thing. America was founded by Freemasons. I believe 1776 was one of the first Freemason organizations that was instituted at that time, because their founding fathers of this nation were a bunch of Caucasoid, Edomite Freemasons. That's how that's a Christian country. It's Freemason. Always has been, always will be. Now, even when you think about the Declaration of Independence, when was that written? Let's look. Because the Declaration of Independence that said all men were created equal, we were still slaves. And we didn't get getting freed until hundreds of years later. Let's look at that. Is that the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution? I always get confused with these white man documents. I believe that's the Constitution, if I'm not mistaken. Declaration of Independence is what it was. Yes, so it was written in 1776. And when that was created, the Declaration of Independence, it meant that everybody who was not a slave, essentially. That's all it meant. It had nothing to do with nobody else but everybody who was not a slave. Slaves were not created equal in their eyes, which is why that was not written to protect our people. We didn't end up getting out until about another 2 or 300 years later after it was written, which is crazy.
For the transfer of their own people to foreigners.
Asking for forgiveness from their estranged African brothers and sisters.
This opportunity today gives us a chance to have the most important of conversations that must happen between our people in addressing the transatlantic slave trade that forever changed people of African descent from continent to continent.
Thinking about the past and its impact.
When you look at a Black person and you can't know where they're from, that's the heartbreak of being a Black American.
Reflecting on the future.
We have to face up to the things that we are part of and understand why it happened. Because once we can do that, then we can move forward to the next level.
Till earth and heaven.
Opening up a new chapter of love, life, and healing.
I now know.
Okay. So I just wanted to do this stream, y'all, because I want to show you that a lot of the nations are feeling the convictions. They are starting to experience some sense of regret. They are experiencing the fall of Babylon. See, whenever somebody ends up going through hardship, that's really where you start to really reflect on your life. A lot of these Gentiles are fulfilling Jeremiah 16:19. Surely our fathers have inherited lies. They fought for this country. They stood for this country. And now they're realizing it wasn't worth it because this country never cared. They never cared about Black people. And they never cared about the Gentiles that lived within it that benefited from it. Because if they really cared about those Gentiles that lived within this country that oppressed us under the power of the country, their Gentile rule would not be coming to an end. The people at the very top benefited from Black people. We've always been at the bottom. And these white folks have been just a little bit above us, but not quite at the top of the pyramid. They just thought that they were. Daniel, breaking news today, June 12th, Oklahoma's highest court on Wednesday dismissed a lawsuit by the last 2 known living survivors of the Tulsa race massacre in 1921 seeking reparations. You know what? Thank you for bringing that up. Let's look that up. Reuters, you said it's on Reuters? Okay, let's look that up. I think that ties in very heavily with what we're discussing, so we'll go ahead and pull that up. Thank you for mentioning that. Reuters. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You guys watched my video about the house Negroes. I don't see that video. Let me just go to Reuters and see what I can find under that. If I can, I'll just pull up the article. I don't see it on Reuters. Let me see if I can pull up the article. Give me a second. Reuters. Tulsa, Oklahoma. There should be some kind of article popping up or something. Oh, I found it. Okay, wait. Actually, no, that's not it. Massacre. Yep, I think I found it. News. Yep, right here. Okay, I found it. Alstein Tiaua. Thank you so much, Daniel S., for bringing that to my attention. Let's take a look at this. Let's read this article. Alstein Tiaua. That's why I like these streams, because we can all just like share stuff with each other. So it says Oklahoma Supreme Court dismisses lawsuit of last Tulsa race massacre survivors seeking reparations. All these devils. Imagine spending the last few years of your life just trying to fight for justice for what happened to your people. And yet, even through that, they still don't want to. Oh my gosh. These people are some animals, man. So this is one of the last survivors of this event, this massacre, I should call it. Let's read this. It says, Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma Supreme Court on Wednesday dismissed a lawsuit by survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre, dampening the hope of advocates for racial justice that the city would make financial amends for one of the worst single acts of violence against Black people in U.S. history that left as many as 300 people dead and once thriving district in smoldering ruins. Sour cream supremacy. The 9-member court upheld the decision made by a district court judge in Tulsa last year, ruling that the plaintiff's grievances about the destruction of the Greenwood district, although legitimate, did not fall within the scope of the state's public nuisance statute. Homie, what? But they'll literally throw a Black man in jail because maybe he might write some graffiti on the wall. I mean, isn't that considered defacing public property? How is that not? Oh my gosh. This is why I say, family, reparations are not coming by them handing it over. Reparation comes by the wrath of the Most High. Fire, pestilence, destruction is how we get our reparations. They're not going to just hand it over. Abigail says, because if we consider the way this nation began, it started with ill-got gain. Very treacherous indeed. Absolutely, sis. When I think of Hashatan, let me show y'all something real quick. We're going to continue with this article, but I want to just show you something real quick. Hashatan comes to do 3 main things. All right, let's look at the book of Yahuchanan, or John 10:10. Okay. Give me 1 second. I want to make a comparison here. Okay. So the Bible says that the enemy, Hashatan, comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That's Yahuchanan, or John chapter 10, verse 10. When I think of the Edomites, what do? They steal, they kill, and they destroy. I mean, you can't deny the fact that they are likened unto the adversary, which is Hashatan. They want to be worshipped as the Most High. They have created a likeness of a deity in their image, who is not our Father, who has kept us from our Father, who's led us into all types of wickedness and idolatry and lawlessness. They live to destroy us as a people. You got to understand that if Hashatan hates Jacob, how would his children not be likened to him if that same smoldering hatred that is within them is also likened unto Hashatan? These type of things cannot be ignored, family. Baya Yashua says, I'm at work. I had a customer who took me away, but y'all were in my ear. Okay, sis, I'm glad you're still with us. I think we're having a great discussion. And to those who want to call in, I'm going to open up the lines. If you guys have some thoughts you'd like to share, they are his children. It's the truth. They are. They truly are. Let me switch back over to this article. After I read this article, if you guys have some thoughts, I will be posting. A matter of fact, I'll post a link in the chat if you guys want to call in. If you have any things to say about these days we're in right now, about the Gentiles, the state of the raging heathen. If you have any thoughts, I'm happy to bring you guys on. Just click the link. I'm going to finish this article real quick, and then I'll open up the lines to anybody else that wants to call in. So they said that the Greenwood district, although legitimate, did not fall within the scope of the state's public nuisance statute. Plaintiffs do not point to any physical injury to property in Greenwood, rendering it uninhabitable. That could be resolved by way of injunction or other civil remedy. The court wrote in its decision today, we hold that relief is not possible under any set of facts that could be established consistent with plaintiff's allegations. Messages left Wednesday with the survivor's attorney, Demario Solomon Simmons, were not immediately returned. The city said in a statement that it respects the court's decision and affirms the significance of the work the city continues to do in North Tulsa and Greenwood communities, adding that it remains committed to working with residents and providing resources to support the communities. So essentially, they feel like these white folks burning Tulsa, Oklahoma to the ground, burning this community to the ground is not feasible for reparations. I don't even know what to say, bro. Absolutely unbelievable. But that's all I have to say, family. If you guys want to call in, I have the link. Matter of fact, let me pin the link to the chat. I'm interested to see if anybody has anything to say about what we discussed today. If your thoughts or your opinions or anything you have to say, I'm happy to hear it. Let me pin this to the top of the chat, and feel free to call in. I'm going to just read some of you guys' comments. All right, let's see what we got. Their GOD is mammon. They stay wicked, unjust, and cling to their GOD with their last breath. And yet their GOD cannot even save them from the wrath of the true Alua of all creation. Let's see. She was 4 years old when her community was terrorized by those jealous devils. Oh, man. Poor lady. And you know that, when you're a child, you forget a lot of things when you was a child, but there's certain things you don't forget. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact she can't forget what happened even at 4 years old. I mean, that's the type of event that will scar you for life. Martin Stable says we cannot no matter what make sense of anything they do. Yes, Yahuwah gonna tax they asses for sure. This is why we hold on to well-doing. Yahusha sees it all. Exactly. The Most High, he will deal with them. He will make sure that they give it up. All right? They're going to run into their little bunkers, their little underground caves and all of that, thinking that it's going to spare them from the wrath of the Most High. If you think that them things going to save you, man, you do not know the Alua of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, let's see. Don't apologize to us. We don't have the power to forgive. That's on the Most High. Right, exactly. Don't apologize to me, homie. I'm not the one you need to fear. It's our Father. It is the Most High Yahuwah. Because the wrath that he says he's going to bring on the nations is going to be very, very, very destructive. The Bible says that we will be burying the bodies of the heathens for like 7 months. It says that Yahusha will be stained with blood. His garments will be stained with blood. He is coming to destroy so many people. Matter of fact, let me go to that scripture real quick. Give me a second. Hold on, y'all. I'll go to my blog. I actually have the scriptures written down here. Let's see. We're going to go through some of these scriptures because I think it's important for people to understand. Let's see. Okay. So let me switch over here to my screen. This is my blog. And I just want, for those who don't understand what Yahusha is coming to do, let me skip down here. So Yahuwah is a man of war. Okay. Let's just read some of these prophecies. This is Yashayahu, Isaiah 63, 1-5. Who is this coming from Edom with garments of glowing colors from Basra? Now, Basra is the capital of Edom, okay? Who is robed in splendor, striding forward in the greatness of his strength. It is I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Why is there red on your raiment, and your garments like one who treads in the winepress? Yahusha says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and from my people no one was with me. And I trod them down in my displeasure, and I trampled them in my wrath. Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments, and I have defiled all my raiment. For a day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, but there was none helping, and I was astonished that there was none upholding. So my own arm saved me, and my wrath upheld me. Yashayahu 42, 13-14. Yahuwah will go forth like a warrior. He will stir up his zeal like a man of war. He will shout out, yes. He will raise a war cry. He will prevail mightily against his enemies. I, Yahuwah, have been silent for a long time. I've been still and restrained myself. Now I will moan like a woman in labor, and I will both gasp and pant. Okay? Kazun, Revelations 13:10. He that leads into captivity will go into captivity. If anyone kills with a sword, he must be killed with a sword. Here is the call for the patience and endurance of the Kadashim, which is seen in the response of Yahuwah, people to difficult times. Kazun, Revelations 19:15-16. From his mouth comes forth a sharp sword with which he may strike down the nations. And he will rule them with a rod of iron, and he will tread the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of Elua, the Almighty, in the judgment of the rebellious world. And on his robe and on his thigh has a name inscribed, Malak ha-Malakim, U-Adun ha-Adunim, King of kings, Masters of masters. Yakazakal, Ezekiel 35:2-12. It's talking about the judgment of Edom. Son of man, set your face against Mount Shair, Adum or Edom, and prophesy against it and say to it, thus says Yahuwah, behold, Mount Shair, I am against you, and I will stretch out my hand against you, and I will make you completely desolate. I will destroy your cities, and you will become a wasteland. Then shall you know without a doubt that I am Yahuwah, because your descendants of Esau, you descendants of Esau, have an everlasting hatred for Jacob, Yasharal. And you handed over the sons of Yasharal to the power of the sword at the time of their tragedy, at the time of their final punishment. Therefore, as I live, says Yahuwah, I will hand you over to bloodshed, and bloodshed will pursue you. Since you have not hated bloodshed, bloodshed will pursue you. I will make Shair or Mount Shair a ruin and a desolate wasteland, and I will cut off from it the one who passes through it and the one who returns. I will fill its mountain with its slain. Those killed by the sword will fall on your hills and in your valleys and in your ravines, and I will make you an everlasting desolation. Your city shall not be inhabited. Then you will know without doubt that I am Yahuwah, because you descendants of Esau have said, these two nations, Yasharal and Yahudah, and these two lands shall be mine. We will take possession of them. Although Yahuwah was there, therefore as I live, says Yahuwah, I will deal with you in accordance with the anger and envy you showed because of your hatred for them. And I will make myself known among them as judge when I judge and punish you. Okay? So, I mean, the scriptures are clear. Now, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, check out these scriptures, make sure to check out my my video, The Many Misconceptions of Yahusha, because the world don't water down the Messiah. They done made him soft. They don't water down the Most High and got you thinking the Most High is not a man of war, as it says in the scriptures. Your Christian, pagan, pippin, porky pig pastor will never tell you the Most High said I'm a man of war. I look like some people leaving. Zabida. Oh, you're leaving? Okay, sis. You have a good night, okay? Love you. Yeah, Zabida's leaving. Okay. I just want to make sure I shouted her out. CC says, I got to go, fam, but I'll watch the rest later. Be safe, Mashbaka. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, Yahusha. Love you, sis. All right, family. Well, that's it, y'all. I think I'm going to jump off of here myself. Yep, Zechariah 11:5, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. There is absolute recompense, family. Absolute recompense. All right, y'all. That's it for me, bro. I think I'm going to close this out with one of my songs. What song? I need an appropriate song for this live. I don't know, man. We'll do Jeremiah 16:19. All right. Be sure to hit the like button, family. Please be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I love you all. May the Most High Yahuwah be perpetually esteemed. And I'm going to close this out with my song, Jeremiah 16:19. I love you, family. Shalom.
to those who seek it, and I am truly blessed to be a part of that awakening. I realize that this world is just one big stage, and most people are just dancing to Satan's tunes. Take a look at Mount Rushmore. They were all slave owners. Remember Song of Solomon, I am black but comely. Look not upon me because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. The evidence is overwhelming, brothers and sisters. Do some research. If you've been blessed with eyes to see, you'll realize that the white Jesus is actually Caesar Borgia, the illegitimate son of Pope Alexander VI. And the clock is ticking. Babylon is gonna fall.
Hey, Xer.
Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise, and the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise, and the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Hey, Babylon go burn with that Confederate flag, LGBT white supremacy and in bed with no and I'll burn and I'll spit on the American flag. White Jesus is false, so how the arrogant brag. I ain't voting for Trump, I ain't voting for Biden, and the one who I abide in is the Lion of Zion. And you do what they say mindlessly like they Simon, and the heathens gon' rage cause they really just fighting. And the nation shall envy, can't do nothing against you, and we know that you Esau when you say it offends you. And no wonder you so wicked, got a lineage of evil. White pride means nothing, I can see through your ego. And your Uwa said the nations are nothing but spittle, and we are the chosen people, we will never be equal. And the pride of Esau exalts himself as the eagle. What's coming to Esau and the heathens, yo, it sure won't be peaceful. It is Esau who dwells in the clefts of the rock, and the rise of Yasharal you never can stop. This is for my ancestors who you hung from trees. This for the black blood spilled by the hands of police. This for the black women that you violated with pride. This for every single sin you tried to hide and denied. This is for your white Jesus, it produced self-hate. This for the unpaid wages and all that you take. It's for the Rev 2-9s and our identity stolen. We know the truth about you, you really eating my Romans. Yeah. Really eating my Romans. We know the truth about you, you really eating my Romans. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise, and the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yo, the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always cleaving to lies. And you say you hate the Negroes, but one day we will rise, and the nations that envy, they will all see demise. And the heathens will say we inherited lies, in which there is no prophet, always clinging to lies. Our redemption is written, white Christians despise, and the nations filled with envy, they dismiss and deny. Yeah.
The Most High, he is done. Okay? He is done with what has been going on. The 400-year is up. The curse is up. Sorry, my kitty just sneezed. The 400-year curse is up. Okay? God's people, the Most High has chosen the Hebrews, the blacks in America. Okay? We're about to see some power. Come on, y'all. You got to get out of this lie. Okay? You got to get out of this lie. You have got to come out of this lie. This white Jesus that you are worshiping is going to take you to hell. Please wake up. Oh, in the name of Yahushua, wake up. Oh, I feel the Holy Ghost. Oh, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yahushua is an alpha, strong, black man. He is a Negro. He is a Hebrew. I don't know what word you need to hear to understand who they are, but it is not me. I am not a chosen. You can get mad. It doesn't matter. This is how the Most High has done it. I'm a Gentile, and I know my place. But I'm called to tell all of these Gentile whites that I know that you are in the deepest deception that you have ever been in. And you have been in it your whole life. And the awakening is happening now. People are waking up.
For centuries, we have been lied to by our forefathers and religious teachers. The white JC was created by the Vatican, and he was not the true Messiah of the Bible. Our Messiah, Yahusha, was a melanated man, and the Most High Yahuwah's true chosen people are the melanated people. Won't learn that in any tax-exempt church. And I praise Yahuwah every day for leading me down the correct path. All praise to the Most High.
Hey, Yexer.